there has been something called a rape gang, for those of you that are unaware. A grooming gang of, white, straight British males. Kidding! Pakistani Muslims that are raping girls. All right? Now, these are not the rapists. I don't want you, God forbid, to look at these faces and be like, they're rapists. This is obviously not the case. These are the police that have been releasing the rapists. That's a totally different thing. So super important that we have our ducks in a row. All right? So anyway, this is a statement from the gang inquiry because they're finally looking into years of gangs that have been going around. All right? Years of gangs that the government has been covering up. And this is the statement from the gang inquiry. For real, though, trigger warning, this is going to be brutal, and it might make you Islamophobic, all right? We might be radicalizing you. Our inquiry panel has heard extensive and deeply distressing testimony from a survivor detailing prolonged and extreme abuse, exploitation, and trafficking beginning in childhood and continuing over a number of years across multiple locations in the United Kingdom. The panel wishes to place on record that we regard this testimony with the utmost seriousness. The survivor has provided detailed, consistent, and specific evidence over an extended period of engagement with our inquiry. She will remain anonymous, and she is safe. She has made it abundantly clear that she wants the country to know her story. This is her decision, and her decision alone. Elements of her account have been independently corroborated through presented documentation and vast evidence. The panel is also aware of additional material and supporting information that strengthens the credibility of the survivor's account and warrant urgent and comprehensive investigation by the relevant statutory authorities. All right, get ready. I'm giving you the precursor. This is your last chance to leave. Given the gravity of the allegations, we have thought long and hard on whether to release the following information. We believe, as does she, that the public deserves to know the truth about the rape gangs. All right, we are hobbits in a shire, unaware of the evils that the orcs are actually committing across Middle-earth. The survivor's violent gang rape and abuse began at the age of 12. She was raped multiple times per day over the many years. Rapes were filmed and used as blackmail. The survivor stated that multiple police officers were perpetrators. Many of the police officers were active perpetrators. Money was exchanged openly, and this destroyed her ability and willingness to seek help. Police vehicles were used to traffic her. And some of the abuse events were called cop nights. Remember, these are the British police officers involved. It gets worse. The extreme pain she suffered included filmed torture in places called red rooms. Dude, all the things that they're saying about Epstein without evidence are the things that have been happening, being done by Pakistani grooming gangs in England. It gets worse. The torture included waterboarding and strangulation by rope. Distressingly, she was raped by a dog. Filmed and forced to rewatch the footage as men placed bets. Sorry. The coordination of the specific type of abuse was predominantly perpetrated by Pakistani heritage men. During the specific period of abuse, she witnessed the murder of at least 3 girls, one of whom was allegedly killed as punishment for speaking to the police force. Agencies made a number of referrals to the National Referral Mechanism. She received positive grounds in 2018, but was not made aware of this status until 2021. She finally received conclusive grounds in 2023. The survivor is understandably wary of reporting on the matter to the police, so the panel is seeking an urgent meeting with Home Secretary, including the survivor, to ensure that the government is fully apprised of the seriousness of the evidence and to discuss immediate steps required to ensure the survivor's protection, to preserve evidence, and to secure justice. Our overriding priority is the safety of the survivors, the pursuit of truth and justice without fear or favor. We believe, along with the survivor herself, that the British people deserve to finally know what has been inflicted on innocent young girls in Britain, towns, and cities for decades. So, this has not just happened once or twice. This has been consistent. This has been consistent and systemic, produced by predominantly Pakistani Muslims onto British women. And I'm going to show you debates, and I'm going to show you people denying that rape gangs exist. All right? The new leftist stance in England is rape gangs are an Islamophobic hoax. All right? You're not ready for what you're going to witness this video. So this is laying the groundwork. You haven't even started, all right? You probably thought you were against the death penalty. You probably thought that humanity evolved past the stage of barbarism, but you were lied to because you are a hobbit in a shire unaware of the Mordor rape factory that is being put into our countries. Lock in. This is gonna get dark, but someone has to talk about it, and unfortunately no one else does. So hey, that's what I'm here for. All right, and I wanted to focus on England today a lot because it's this is the inevitable conclusion of to whatever's happening in New York right now. So in England, this is Rupert Lowe. He's running for prime minister as in the Restore Britain party. It's a brand new party that just started this month, and it's already unbelievably doing so well. And if you are English, if you are British, you have to tell your friends and family about this because this is pivotal for the future and survival of England as a country. There is no other way to get out of this mess democratically. This quite literally is the only and final democratic solution. So anyway, Rupert Lowe releases this statement from the Rape Gang Inquiry. The Rape Gang Inquiry was shut down by the actual British government, and he's basically running it himself these days. And the craziest part is, no one even would have talked about this documented incident of Muslims and police officers that are also Pakistani Muslims getting together, placing bets, and having dogs rape women and forcing them to watch footage of themselves getting raped by dogs. All right, no one even knew about this. It seems this wasn't public info. It's so weird. Anyway, it's worse. So this Adil Rashid, 18 years old, rapes a 13-year-old girl. The judge lets him off because he didn't know he couldn't rape girls. Yeah, the judiciary is the enemy too. It's also compromised. It's also woke. Oh, he didn't know you can't rape children. Our bad. Your culture's beautiful and wonderful the way it is. I would never say that your culture's inferior. He didn't know you couldn't rape children. So they release him. And this is literally what England had to deal with for years. All right, now, the craziest part is Kier Starmer, the current Prime Minister of England, he was a lawyer before this ever happened. And I think this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. He organized, it seems, a system warning child rapists to get them out of trouble. I'm not exaggerating.
About Sir Kier Starmer, as per a Daily Express investigation, are going to put you on the edge of your seat tonight.
Oh, you're not ready. You're not ready, bro. This is the level of conquest we're dealing with, to the point that politicians need the Muslim vote. So the politicians will kneel to the communities that are raping their children. Look, my stance on immigration is very simple. It's very simple.
Raping, sir.
It's very simple.
Stop raping, sir.
That quite literally, that is my stance on immigration. Okay, now leftists don't have the same stance, so therefore we don't see eye to eye very often.
This investigation has found documents from Sir Kier Starmer's time as Britain's top prosecutor that he put his name to that mentioned the drafting and agreeing of warning notices with police chiefs that whistleblowers say had been given to suspected child rapists.
He was sending warning letters to pedophiles.
A number 10 source has told GB News that the warning notices were not drawn up or devised under Sir Kier Starmer. The Express investigation also alleges that no research was ever conducted into the effectiveness of these early intervention tools and that they were often used instead of gathering evidence.
Instead of gathering evidence to get the pedophiles off the streets, he was sending warning letters to them to be more careful next time they rape a kid.
Well, Maggie Oliver, who exposed the Rochdale grooming gang scandal, told The Express how she had seen fellow officers use these letters to make investigations, in quotes, go away.
That's right. Why investigate if you could give them a warning letter? I'll write them a strongly worded letter. Please stop raping kids, sir.
And described them as an ASBO for paedophiles.
All right. Well, isn't that nice? So essentially, that's the woke mindset. All right. Look, why would we be racist against your culture? Why would we do this? Well, what if I told you it got a lot worse? What if I told you that these ASBOs for pedophiles were signed by Kier Starmer? The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has signed warnings that he sent out to warn pedophiles instead of arrest them.
Get to the bottom of this investigation.
Right, so this all came from, I was looking into grooming gangs in London, and I was looking through investigations that didn't really come to pass.
Jolly good day, mate. Just rape the kids more discreetly, mate. Can we please do that? I'm trying to run a campaign over here.
But there being strong evidence of there being a grooming gang. And one of the lines that we noticed was a girl who'd been coerced to go to a hotel, been raped by multiple men, and then one of the officers has said, why don't we give them a child abduction warning notice?
What? What? Are we serious, dude? Are we serious? We found a giant group of pedophiles raping a kid. Oi, do you have a license for that child rape? So, and then they give them a little warning note that apparently is signed by the Prime Minister. This is the craziest shit of all time. It really is. So, this is the bombshell report that's changing everything. A massive development in how the child rape gangs were allowed to continue had just been released. Kier Starmer was issuing warning letters to suspected child rapists, while head of the CPS instead of charging them. Like, dude, are we serious? Warning, stop raping, sir. Stop raping, sir. Yeah, great. So, and this is insane. Wait, is it true Kier Starmer issued warning letters to child rapists instead of prosecuting them while he was working as a prosecutor? Right? That's a pretty good question. Yes, says Elon Musk. Oh boy, oh boy, here we go, here we go. This is diabolical, by the way. This is fucking insane. Like, holy shit. Oh my god. All right. In Lord of the Rings, hobbits in the Shire spent so long sheltered from evil that they don't realize and believe it actually exists. The West is like the Shire. Elon Musk says, yup. Asmongold says, deport the orcs from the Shire. And Elon Musk says, yes, either that or the hobbits will get raped to death. You know, and I'm called a racist, and Elon's called a racist, and Asmongold is called a racist. We're all racist, but we literally all have one thing in common. This is my political stance on immigration.
Stop raping, sir.
Quite literally, that's my political stance on immigration, and I have that in common with Elon Musk and Asmongold, which is why we're all far-right fascists. I'm really glad that we're all on the same page. Anyway, this is Rupert Lowe. This is Rupert Lowe. He is currently running for Prime Minister position in England to fight back against the endless bullshit. Piers Morgan defended him. Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I have a Piers Morgan clip to show you in a few minutes that's going to blow your mind. All right? The left will see this and be like, holy shit, we should dump 1 million orcs here. For real. Not even kidding. All right? So, anyway, essentially what's going on now is this is the Restore Britain party. I am so encouraged by the vast number of young British men who are joining to restore Britain, thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Today, an article in the Daily Telegraph called them Nazis. Based! Every time I hear someone get called the Nazi these days, I'm like, holy shit, he's probably cool. It's honestly so sad. I mean, because, it really, for real. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. This is what the establishment does. It stands on the neck of those young British men who care about their country, who want illegals deported, and who believe that immigration system that benefits the British people only. Tim Stanley in the Telegraph should be ashamed of themselves, as should Reform, who've used the same vile language. Millions of young men feel entirely politically alienated. For decades, no political party has spoken for them. Well, now there is one. Restore Britain! Hundreds and hundreds more join every day. We won't treat them like dirt. We won't patronize them. We won't insult them. I urge all young men who are following Restore Britain to rise above it. Work hard, be respectful, play by the rules, but enjoy yourselves. Ignore the woke bullshit and crack on. Get involved, spread the word. We're getting our country back. And Elon Musk says, join Restore Britain. Bro, this is a movement. I feel like this, again, I said this before, I'll say it again. This is the last chance for democracy to actually save England. The next step will be civil war. If this fails, England is cooked, and they're not getting out without violence. Now, this is one of the funniest things I saw happen. Reform UK, all right, this is a center right-wing party that's still pro-immigration for some interesting reason, all right, is in the UK, and they're trying their absolute best, and now they're saying Reform UK will deport all illegal migrants. Dude, you weren't saying this forever, and now Restore Britain is showing up, and Restore Britain is kicking your asses, okay? So Reform is now like, oh, we're also going to deport the illegal aliens, right? They're trying their absolute best. And Rupert Lowe responds like this: a rebellious Reform staffer unblocked my account, and I have waited for the right moment to strike. This is it. You tried to put me in prison for backing mass deportations. Farage admitted it. He's the leader of like the center-right retards. All right. There is one party that will send the third world criminals home. Restore Britain. And then he immediately gets blocked again. He lasted 5 minutes and then they blocked him once again. All right. So essentially what Rupert Lowe did is he got some rebellious staffer in the Reform Britain party to unblock his account on their Twitter so he could reply to them with this based response, you know, basically saying, join me instead, this guy's a fraud, and it worked. And it worked. And then they blocked him again right after that. Dude, which is pretty hilarious. I think that's absolute cinema. A Jew being okay with being called a Nazi was not a bingo card. Listen, man, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Like, the Nazis were, like, horrible, horrible people. National socialists, radical leftists. All right, they murdered millions. And quite literally, they use this tactic to call you a bad thing to justify killing you. All right. So again, yes, Jewish. I had my grandparents' families were all murdered by Nazis in the Holocaust. And I get called a Nazi every single day. On the internet. It's honestly insane. So this is Nigel Farage. All right, he is the guy that's supposedly the right-wing party before Rupert Lowe showed up. And this is what he had to say on immigration.
These people need to go, don't they? And by saying that you don't support mass deportations...
If I say I support mass deportations, that's all anybody will talk about for the next 20 years. So it's pointless even going there.
What? People are going to talk about it, so therefore I'm not going to say we're going to do it? Huh? Weak sauce, bro. What is this?
So right. It's a rhetorical problem.
It's a political impossibility to deport hundreds of thousands of people.
No, it's not. You could just do things.
Simply can't do it.
You just simply can't do it? Get out of here, bro. Are we serious? Get out of here. Right. So now Reform is doing their absolute best to say that they are going to do it, right? Now they're pushing Reform UK will deport all illegal migrants, all right? So he went from, we just simply can't do it, to, we're doing it, guys, of course. Trust us and vote for us. Dude, it's insane. Now, the Green Party, which is another woke party in Britain, is releasing full ads in Arabic.
को गोटन और डेंटन एक जुल्म सियासतदान जीत सकता है अगर
I don't even think this is Arabic. This is whatever Pakistani like fucking shit they're doing.
हम रिफॉर्म को रोकने के लिए ग्रीन को वोट ना दे
मेरा नाम हना स्पेंसर है मैं ग्रीन पार्टी की उम्मीदवार हूं
दुकानदार सफाई करने
Like, this is when you know you're conquered, bro. This is when you know it's over. This is when you know you're cooked.
वाले ड्राइवर्स माएं ये हम हैं जो इस इलाके को चलाते हैं लेकिन सियासतदान हमारे लिए काम नहीं कर रहे हैं
Yes, squiggles. I speak squiggles.
बिल्स बढ़ते जा रहे हैं
Right, don't vote for the right-wing guys. They're like Trump, and Trump is bad because Trump kills terrorists, and we're all terrorists, so therefore we shouldn't do that, right? So anyway, that's the stance. But this is all I heard. All I heard was... That's all I heard. A lot of repulsive alien hysterics, and quite literally, I don't care. They all need to go. Every illegal, everyone that doesn't want to assimilate, get them out. Get them out. This is my stance. You break into the country illegally, leave. You're not willing to assimilate to the culture of the actual place, leave. We don't need you there. Deport. Get them out. It's crazy. Now, this is another one, just to show you how bad the actual rape gang situation is. Rupert Lowe says, our rape gang inquiry is only just starting to scratch the surface. There is so much evil among us. Do not kid yourselves. This is happening now today all over Britain. It's an organized criminal network of rape and slavery. All right? And for some reason, no one else wanted to talk about it. Rape gang survivor. This is what the inquiry just dug up. Oh my God. It was all of the white girls in every home that I went to. And I mean, I've seen girls locked. I remember a man opening the back of a van and I saw maybe 15, 20 girls locked in dog cages. It looked like they were on drugs. Dude, absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And it's just testimony like this. And evidence also that they're pulling out. It's honestly horrifying. Restore Britain will repeal the assisted dying bill and reverse recent changes, which decriminalizes abortion up to birth. British Christians now have a political party that represents their views and will act on it. All right, like quite literally, they're just like we're done, we're tired. You want to call us Nazis? Fine. You want to call us far right? Fine. You can call us whatever the fuck we want. We want our country back. We're deporting the illegal aliens. We're doing more. Assisted dying just means legal murder. All right, and abortion up to birth just means legal murder, infanticide. All right, so they're like, listen, I'm done playing the woke games. All right, there's two genders. Stop murdering babies. Stop murdering depressed people. We don't care. We're deporting them. Oh no, but it's inhumane. We don't care what you call us. It's happening, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. Now, I showed you that, and this is crazy. A restored British government will hold a referendum on the death penalty. All right? Don't worry, guys. It's coming back. If the British people support it, we would reintroduce the death penalty for cases of brutal evil and undeniable guilt. Restore Britain would put the very worst rape gang savages to death. All right? So, of course, retards feel the need to be like, I understand the desire for adequate punishment for these crimes, but how does this align with the commitment of thou shalt not kill? But what about thou shalt not kill? Christians are opposed to the death penalty. Thou shalt not kill. I want to make something very clear. It says that a man that kills another man gets the death penalty in every single one of the 5 books of Moses. That's first. And second of all, it does not say thou shalt not kill anywhere in the Bible. It says thou shalt not murder. That is not the same. Killing could be justified. It says thou shalt not murder in the Bible. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill. Miss me with this woke reinterpretation shit. The death penalty was invented by God. All right, just to understand.